In the aftermath of the 2024 election, America is even more divided than before. Half the country fears the end of democracy, and the other half welcomes it. As America inches toward the brink of authoritarian rule, now more than ever, we must force ourselves to have the necessary conversation. Welcome to the Necessary Conversation. I'm Chad Colchin. My sister has abandoned us today. What is she doing?
Wasting money in Boston.
She's with friends.
Okay. And so it's just me and my mom and my dad talking about the 6 biggest political issues that occurred this week. Before we get to that, we will have a listener question. And before we get to that, Mom, do you have a ditty?
I have a bunch because I'll do a couple. Nina Poole, my next dupe, is Palmer's Cocoa Butter Swivel Stick. Oh my goodness. There it is. This is like, oops, where'd I go? There it is. Swivel stick, because you pop this lid open and this turns into anything for dry skin. Chapstick, all this good stuff. I love it. It was $1.25 at the dollar store. Amazon has them 3 for $8. And she was on a dupe with her husband, and her husband was using this. It was really cute.
Everybody's
I like
duping.
this. I like this a lot. We've had terrible weather the last 2 days. We were up last night with Kitty a bunch, tornadoes all around. It's crazy. We've been up all night with her. Thunder, she just can't handle. In the last few days, too, 24 tornadoes ripping through 5 different states. People were dead. It's very bad weather. Please be weather aware. That's why we're taping early today so we can get out to shiny. Pope Leo the 14th. We were just watching the Mass. Dad was saying it in Latin. It was pretty cool. It was in Vatican City. It happened, well, it's on the news right now, but it happened already in Rome at 10 a.m. This morning. 250,000 people. Vance, Rubio, and family were there. He talked heavily about unity, about harmony, and preserving Christianity in the heritage of the people. So I thought that was very nice. We liked it. And Dad was doing it in Latin. He knows that high mass in Latin because he was an altar boy. You want to say anything about it? No. Okay. I can't believe you didn't have this as a topic. Here we go. 8647. When I told you to look that up, you go, what? You didn't even know.
Yeah, he just said 8647, a funny number. James Comey tweeted this, right? Or posted it on Instagram or
He
something.
posted it on Instagram, said he found this at a beach with seashells. Baloney. I'm calling the bullshit card on him. He knows exactly what this means. It means to take him out. It means
to get rid of him. I don't think
get
it means
rid
to kill
of
him.
Okay, of course. Yeah. Liberals and Democrats don't think that. Now, why would you tweet
Elon
that?
Musk did a Nazi salute, and you don't think he did that, so we're even.
Okay, whatever. I think he's already being investigated by the CIA, and they need to continue, and they need to do something about this because that's just stupid.
What would they do about it, Mom?
Put him in jail. He is insinuating. Oh my gosh.
Put him in jail for a tweet?
He's insinuating to assassinate our president.
Okay.
Okay, laugh all you want. I can't believe you're laughing about that.
Please believe it.
Oh my Lord. Okay.
How many ditties we got here? What's going on?
This is the last one.
Thank you.
Thunder up today at 2:30. Our Thunder in Oklahoma City plays the Nuggets.
Yeah.
They're 3-3, so the winner will go on to the Western
7.
Championship, and we wish them the best.
Who's your favorite player on the Thunder?
The big, tall, black guy. What is his name? Bob, help me. He's the best. Alexander, yeah. Why are you laughing about that?
Okay. Let's
say
move
that.
on.
Can I not say that?
You can say it. Let's move on to the listener question. We take a question from a listener every week. If you have a question, just record it in a 1-minute or shorter video, preferably format. Email it to thenecessaryconversationpod@gmail.com. Are you ready for this week's question, Mom and Dad?
Yep, we're ready.
Hey there, Culture and Family. This is Ty coming in from Virginia Beach, Virginia. I'm a 37-year-old married male with one kid. Hopefully, Bob will be cool with my question. Mix it up for you, Chad. Love to listen to you guys every week. Get some blood pumping going into work. Question for you guys, though. Bob and Mary Lou, when was the first moment you realized that Trump was the man and he was going to be the right guy for the job to bring in the new glorious America? And on the flip side of the coin, to Chad and Haley, when was the moment that you guys realized, man, this guy's unhinged and this guy's not going to be doing any of the thing he says, and he's just a straight up con man? Again, love you guys' show. Listen to it every week. Keep up the good work, and cheers.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah,
Pat,
it is. So
you go
go for it.
first.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yes.
The moment I realized Trump was completely inept, I mean, you kind of always knew it because he has so many failed businesses, so many jokes are made about him. He's the punchline of all kinds of Simpsons jokes, stand-up comedian jokes. He was never like a serious person. The moment though that I was like, this guy is a total pile of shit was that October before the election when the Access Hollywood tape came out with him and Billy Bush and he openly bragged about sexually assaulting women. I was like, there's no way this guy can win. And then he did. But that moment to me, and I think for a lot of people, crystallized like, this dude is a terrible person, not serious, cannot do this job, and would be a liability to America, which is now proving to be true. How about you guys? When was the moment that you realized he was your Lord and Savior?
Go ahead, Bob.
When he started changing everything that Biden had done.
So not even in his first term then?
Well, I'm talking about Obama.
Yeah. We had to have
You
a
said
change.
Biden though.
He meant Obama. We had to have a change way back then.
Biden doesn't exist. Obama's been the president for 12 years.
But you called him Biden.
Yeah, he meant Obama.
Okay. Just want to get this straight. Mom?
Yeah, we had to have a change or we would not
No, what
have
was
an
the
America.
moment for you?
We had to have a change or we
Okay,
would
so
not.
Dad, you were unable to provide the moment. You said when he started changing things that Biden did. What was the first thing that he changed?
Well, I meant to say
Obama.
broccoli Obama.
Okay, so what was the first thing that he changed that Obama did?
Well, the first thing that he started doing was tightening up the immigration.
And what was that first bill he passed?
Oh, I can't remember.
Okay. Mom?
Well, this time around, closing the border for sure. Everything he did on the first, second day.
Okay, so you too then, the first time you realized he was the guy for the job was during this second term?
No.
No, we liked him the first go around too. There was no way.
So what was the first thing he did? The question is, what is the thing he did that made you realize, oh my God, this is the guy?
I think because he was a businessman, businessman before.
Well, he perfectly.
That's not an incident.
He perfectly badmouthed how we got out of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
He perfectly badmouthed. So saying something derogatory.
He said it was the worst pullout in the history of the American history.
Gave away billions of dollars of arms to the Taliban.
So none of this is an exact moment, but I hopefully that answers your question.
Moment.
There are too
many. It's an exact moment when he said this was all horseshit.
There's too many just to say, wow, he would.
Exact fucking second.
You didn't give just one. You gave a bunch.
No, I gave one. The Access Hollywood tape coming out in October of right before the 2016 election. Hello?
Okay. I'm saying there's way too many moments. We love him.
Okay. Hopefully that answered your question. Let's move on. Before we begin today's show, Mom and Dad, I want to tell you something. I want to open the show by saying that Trump did something this week that I agree with 100%. I'm going to read this statement he made verbatim. This is from Truth Social. So I'm going to read it so there's no confusion. Are you ready?
I'm really ready.
This is Donald J. Trump on his own platform. Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason for raising prices throughout the chain. Walmart made billions of dollars last year, far more than expected. Between Walmart and China, they should, as is said, eat the tariffs and not charge valued customers anything. I'll be watching, and so will your customers. Now, he here is going after the biggest American corporation, just shitting all over it. And I'm all for this.
I don't think he's shitting on Walmart. Okay, let's go
What?
back.
Did you not hear what I literally just read? Those were
Let's
his
go back
words.
one step. Your impersonation of him is getting worse instead of better. So keep the practice up, okay? Please
Okay.
keep practicing.
I will.
I don't think he's shitting on
What
on
are you
Walmart.
talking about? I'll be watching you, and so are your customers.
What's wrong
Walmart
with
should
that?
stop trying to blame tariffs. Walmart made billions last year, far more than expected.
Uh-huh.
He is saying, fuck you, Walmart. And I love it. I agree with him here. Any company that makes billions of dollars, and indeed any billionaire, should have to be paying these costs, especially retailers. Huh?
What about Amazon then and all that?
Yeah,
That
throw them
Amazon
in there too.
Is he shitting on Amazon?
Not specifically here,
I'm just
but he is on Walmart.
Well, I don't like Walmart anymore anyway.
Interesting. Dad,
I
how
don't
do you
like
feel
going
about it?
in there. I think the store's gone down.
Yeah, we don't shop
don't
there
like
unless
there.
we just absolutely
I
have to.
Okay, so you're against Walmart too now.
I kind of am.
All right, interesting. Well, like I said, I agree with everything he said in here. I'm against billionaires. I don't think they should exist. And corporations that make billions of dollars should certainly foot more of the expense for the general cost of living for the average citizen than should the citizen themselves, in my humble opinion.
That's cool.
All right. Are you ready to move on to our first topic?
Yes.
The big, beautiful jet. This week, Trump made it known that he plans to accept a $400 million Boeing 747-8 jet from Qatar's royal family to serve as a temporary Air Force One replacement due to delays in Boeing's delivery of the new presidential aircraft. Trump plans to transfer the jet to his presidential library after his term. Estimates for retrofitting the jet with necessary security features are estimated to cost hundreds of millions of dollars. Beyond the hefty price tag for the American taxpayers, accepting such a lavish gift may violate the U.S. Constitution's Emoluments Clause, which prohibits federal officials from receiving gifts from foreign governments without congressional approval. During his Middle East trip this week, Trump met with authoritarian Qatari Emir Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, securing over $243 billion in commercial and defense deals with Qatar. Dad, do you think a president should be allowed to accept gifts from foreign countries?
Yeah, the way they accept them, you keep it until you retire, and then they put it in your library. But I don't think you get to accept it on behalf of yourself while you're president.
Mom, don't touch the microphone.
I don't want it to fall off the
times.
chair. Okay, don't let it fall off the chair. Okay.
Why is it? Are you balancing it precariously on the edge of the chair?
Right.
Why? We'll try not to rock the chair. Just
I
be
want to
still.
rock my chair.
Okay.
God damn, what do you mean? Why?
What? Be careful. Oh my God.
And Mom, half your face is out of the frame.
I'm here.
Okay. Mom, do you think that a president should be allowed to accept gifts from foreign countries?
I think all presidents do. I think Sleepy Joe did it under the table, didn't tell anyone. That's why they all went into, all of his records to find all the millions that his family had gained. Trump is doing it in the open. And you know what I think he's doing? I think he's putting pressure on Boeing to hurry up his new one that he's supposed to get from here in the United States that is not done. What's wrong with letting him have that for a while, then putting it in a museum later, giving it up when Boeing puts his new one in for him, gets it done?
Well, I mean, the big thing that's wrong with it is it will cost taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars to retrofit that plane, to do a security sweep on it, to make it secure for the president of the United States to be flying around doing his dealings in.
And that is very important so that someone doesn't take him out or shoot him down.
All right.
I'm willing to pay money for that.
Dad, do you think the Qatari government bugged the plane?
It won't matter if they retrofit it.
Okay. Mom, do you think they did?
No. I think they're friends. Everybody's friends.
Okay, so this is just a friendship gift. Do you think, Dad, what does the Qatari government want from Trump? What do they want to get out of this?
Peace in the Middle East.
Okay.
And you know
Mom?
what? If he would have said, no, I can't take that, to me, that is also a gesture like, don't like you, don't want it.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
I really think he was being friendly and said, okay.
Yeah.
How many trillions of investments did he bring back to the United States this time? 42 trillion, maybe they said?
243 billion in commercial and defense deals from Qatar. So they offer him a plane. They do a little business with him. Dad, do you support Qatar?
In this situation, absolutely.
Okay. Mom?
A deal for a deal. Why not?
Okay. So do you know that Qatar supports Hamas and they're pro-Palestinian?
Yes, I do know that.
So if Trump accepts this gift, do you think that will fracture his relationship with Netanyahu and Israel at all?
No.
No.
Why not?
Because Netanyahu's going to go ahead and do what he wants to do anyway.
Okay. But
With or without the United States.
sure.
Hamas is done. Gaza belongs to Israel. You just get used to it.
Okay, but Trump is now doing business with and accepting gifts from a
That's
country that
fine.
supports Hamas.
That's fine. It will change nothing.
Okay. Mom, you feel the same?
I kind of do. Yes.
Right.
I feel that was a gift and he had to say, okay, thank you. If he didn't, then, deals are off, whatever,
Right.
peace is off, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe when Trump was over there and I was watching some of it on TV, how it was insane. They laid out the red carpets. They did all this fancy stuff for him. Unbelievable, nice welcome.
Unbelievable nice welcome. It was to stroke his ego, and it worked. I want to play for you now a clip.
That would never happen for you know who. So there you go.
Okay. I'm going to play for you a clip. This is a clip that has been going around the internet this week. Daily Show on Comedy Central cut it together. It's footage of Donald Trump from I believe it was the debate on early September, that the first one that he did with Kamala Harris, that was in Philadelphia. It's him talking about Biden's administration accepting money from Qatar and Middle Eastern countries, and it's cut together with himself now talking about it. So you get to see what his opinion was.
He didn't accept any money from Qatar.
Okay, let me just play the clip.
Okay,
Here we go.
just-
Ready?
He hasn't accepted any money.
Okay.
He's going
Biden
to accept a $400 million jet, and I just read this.
Okay.
He has secured a $243 billion deal in commercial and defense.
He sold
Qatar.
something. He didn't accept money.
Let him play.
But he's going to accept a $400 million jet.
It's a deal.
Okay.
You don't understand.
Business.
You don't understand business
Okay.
at all.
Don't
Okay. Here we go. Let's see if
might
I
as
can
well
understand.
punt that.
Okay.
All right. Let me play this clip. See what you think of this.
You
Here we
don't
go.
have any idea how to do a business.
All right. Let me play this clip. See how you feel about it. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Arabia giving $25 million, Qatar, all of these countries. These are people that kill women and treat women horribly, and yet you take their money.
Not a gift to me, it's a gift to the Department of Defense, and you should know better.
Why don't you give back the money that you've taken from certain countries that treat certain groups of people so horribly?
You should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us. I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much.
Why don't you give back the money? I think it would be a great gesture.
I thought it was a beautiful gesture. Now, there are those that say we shouldn't be accepting gifts to the Defense Department. And I would say only a stupid person would say that.
It should have never happened. And I think you owe an explanation to the American people.
We're giving to everybody else. Why wouldn't I accept a gift?
If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo.
All right. So there you can see, this is again back in September of 2024, right before the election. He had one attitude about this. Now he seems to have a completely different attitude. Do you see that in this clip?
No.
He needs an airplane. He needs something to fly around in.
So you're just completely ignoring the fact that just a few months later,
He didn't
he's
get
now
any
completely
money.
contradicting himself.
Hey.
Quit yelling.
The difference is he didn't accept cash. Biden did.
How is that different?
It's completely different.
How?
Because it's not worth, if you accept cash, you can go spend it how you want. You accept an
Okay.
airplane, you're stuck with the airplane.
Or you can
They were
sell the
saying,
airplane.
what?
Or you can sell the airplane and you
He's
have
not going to
cash.
sell it. He's going to put it in the museum thing.
He
Okay.
doesn't have to sell it. It's $400 million. It's not even that. It's 40 million.
No, it's 400.
No, it's 400.
No,
Yes, it is, Bob.
it's not.
Yes, it is, Bob.
I know that's what they say, but that's not what it is.
It is. It
What
is.
are you talking about? That is exactly the price tag.
Yes, it is.
Okay, fine.
All right, so we're just going to skip past that one, I suppose. Let's
Yep.
move
I
on.
don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah,
All right.
you're picking on something that doesn't matter.
Okay, watch the microphone. You're going to flip it off.
Next topic is bad hombres. This week, reports emerged that the Trump administration used government resources to facilitate the entry of 17 Mexican citizens into America via a federal escort. The 17
Gather
people,
intel.
the 17 people were family members and associates of the son of notorious Mexican crime syndicate leader El Chapo. The individuals, including El Chapo's ex-wife and daughter, crossed the border from Tijuana under the protection of U.S. officials. El Chapo's son is reportedly providing intelligence on cartel operations in exchange for leniency and protection for his family within the borders of America. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum criticized the U.S. for engaging in negotiations with members of a terrorist organization, a designation that Trump himself mandated in February of this year. Mom, do you think America is safer with 17 members of El Chapo's family now residing in our country?
Yes, because yes, I'll tell you why.
Whoa!
Trump is not stupid. He did this for a reason. This was not a surrender. This is a deal. He's allowing them to come in here for information to take down all the rest of the how many cartel families are there? 5, 6?
I don't
He's
know.
doing this as a deal.
And that makes it okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you remember when he said they're
Gathering
bringing over criminals?
intelligence. I don't
Huh?
remember anything he said. He's gathering intelligence. It doesn't
Okay.
matter what he did 2, 3, 4 years ago. You keep going back and dragging up shit that has absolutely zero to do with today.
Okay.
No, you're wrong because Trump,
No, you're
when
wrong.
Trump says something,
You're wrong.
when Trump says something, you have to look at whether or not he comes through with whatever he's promising. Does he go back
you
on
don't
that?
need-
Is he contradicting himself? You both agree, I'm sure. Many times Trump has said only the worst
No.
people are coming across that border. Criminals and rapists, etc.
But
Yes.
now
This
he's
is-
got him under his wing and under his control.
This is
And
17.
he's gathering intelligence.
He's making a deal.
And I'm tired of arguing about this shit.
Stop, Bob.
Well, then you don't have to. You stormed off last week. You can storm off again if you want.
No, he cannot storm off again. Not
He's free
letting him.
to leave. I don't know why you get so mad about this. I'm just asking questions.
You know you're not asking questions.
Yes, I am.
You're trying to open my mouth and cram a bunch of your horse shit down my throat, and I'm not going to take it.
Okay.
What's the horse shit here, Dad? Did he bring in 17 cartel members to the United States using?
Yes, to gather intelligence to get rid of all of them.
Okay.
And that's the
Okay.
part you geniusly leave out every fucking week.
Okay, so would you be okay if he brought members of ISIS to live in the United States as long as we were getting intelligence about ISIS?
We don't need that. He wiped ISIS out in 2 weeks.
I was a bit
Okay.
surprised to see that he let him in, but
Yeah.
they didn't surrender. They didn't surrender. They,
To my knowledge, these 17 members of that cartel are now living in America witness protection style.
That
Taxpayers
should be
are
right.
paying for their lives.
100% correct.
when I Googled, I can't see, it doesn't say. It doesn't say
Yeah.
where
Well, I
they
mean,
are. what
that's
they're doing.
generally how they do that kind of a thing. I'm very surprised that you're okay with this, especially because one of your main points that you always make is border security. We have to be safer here. We can't have
Right.
these
We
illegals
already
coming in.
are.
And guess what?
We already are, you dumbass.
Oh my God. He's going to get more information out of these people to take down the 5 other families. I think there's
No,
5 or
these people
6.
aren't giving him any information. It's El Chapo's
yes, they
son.
will.
Oh, you don't know
No.
shit.
It's
Chad.
El Chapo's son is the one
Right.
who made the deal. He
Right.
said, bring my family, bring these 17
Uh-huh.
members of our cartel into your country, protect
Or-
them, and I'll flip, and I will give you some information. Now, who knows
Oh,
if
I
that...
thought he didn't get any.
Huh?
I thought,
Huh?
you said that they didn't.
Huh?
Please
God damn, I
stop.
tell you.
Why are you so mad?
Quit
I
being
love-
mad today.
Talk at the wall.
I
No,
do.
what? Hang on a minute, Dad. Why are you so mad?
Because you don't listen to shit except
I'm
your
listening to everything you say.
Tommy Crapola.
I listen to everything you say, and I try to engage
No,
in a
you don't.
conversation
And
with you
then
about
you
it.
try to flip it.
What? How did I flip
Just
anything?
just listen to it and shut your mouth.
Listen
What?
to what?
What I'm telling you.
I am listening, and then I ask you a question about
No,
what
then
you've
I want
said.
you to shut your mouth.
Well, how is that a conversation?
It's not. And I
You
don't
just
get
want to
one
yell
either.
at me and
I don't
have
get
me.
it. I don't get one. I don't get a fucking conversation.
You can go if you want.
Everything comes out of my mouth is absolutely wrong, and everything comes out of your mouth is absolutely right.
Not everything that comes out of your mouth is wrong, but when you say things that are
All
factually
right,
incorrect, I have to tell you that.
You and me are not talking about this anymore.
Okay, just as an example, when you said the jet cost $40 million, that's
Did
wrong.
Did I tell you what I just said?
Yes.
But see,
You didn't tell me what
wrong.
you just said.
I'm not
Listen.
talking to you about it anymore.
Okay, well, let me ask you this question. Do you
Move
think you're
on.
ever
No,
wrong?
you're not asking me any more questions.
Go ahead.
Well, then what do you want me to do here then? That's what this is. I ask
Talk
you
to your
questions about
mother.
these things. Okay, so you're just going to sit there silent now?
Might as well. Doesn't do
You're
me
not
any
gonna
good to talk.
What are you talking about? Did you or did you not say the jet is worth $40 million?
How many times do I have to tell you?
Just say you were wrong. It's
to just
400
leave it
million.
go?
Just say you were wrong. How tough is that?
There you go.
He can't say
I
it.
said it.
$400 million. Now shut up.
You were wrong, right?
I was wrong on the number.
Okay.
Okay, an admission. We are making a little bit of progress. Baby steps, little inch there. All right.
It's okay.
No.
Yes, it
The
is.
fucking communist thinks he's got his way.
Oh, God. Oh, dear
All right.
God.
We'll move on to another topic chosen by the communists.
Jesus Christ. Stop.
Okay, Trump loses
what
in
he
court
is.
again.
He's
Huh?
not. I don't want to hear it. He isn't.
He's a communist.
I don't want to hear that.
Hang on a minute. Dad, why do you think I'm a communist?
Because you are.
Oh, God. Here we
What
go.
what indicates that to you?
Everything about you.
Such as my haircut?
Don't have to go such as.
All right, no examples, no evidence.
Oh, plenty of evidence.
Our son is not a communist.
Yes, he is.
No, he is not.
Should start investigating him.
He just said I should investigate you. Oh, God.
Okay, let's move on. Our third topic is Trump loses in court again. This week, the U.S. Supreme Court issued a 7-2 ruling blocking the Trump administration's attempt to use the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to expedite the deportation of Venezuelan migrants accused of gang affiliations. The court determined that the administration violated due process by providing only 24 hours notice and insufficient legal information to detainees, denying them a fair opportunity to contest their removal. Trump responded with public outrage, criticizing the court's decision as undermining national security. He amplified a suggestion from a former GOP staffer, Mike Davis, to release suspected terrorists near the homes of Supreme Court justices. In enforcing the court's decision, lower courts have issued injunctions requiring the administration to provide adequate notice and legal avenues for detainees to challenge their deportations. However, reports indicate that the administration has proceeded with deportations despite court orders, leading to legal disputes and calls for contempt proceedings against officials. Mom, you just got bent out of shape because James Comey took a picture of those seashells. Now Trump is tweeting that he's going to release criminals near the houses of Supreme Court justices. Do you think that's a threat?
If they make him not able to get them out of here, or if they make him bring them back, I'd do that too. I'd put them on the doorsteps of those people that think they should be here. Invite them in for a dinner.
You don't
Let
see that
them
as a
rape
threat?
you. Let them strangle you. Let's see how you like that.
Okay. Dad, do you see it as a threat?
Nope.
All right. He's doing silent treatment now? Is that what we're doing?
There's nothing to talk about.
Okay. Let me ask you this. I guess I'll ask you, Dad. Let's see if I can get a... Whoa, you all right?
Really?
Really.
What'd you have there? Some popcorn?
God.
Okay. Dad, for
You
those
want
just
to
listening to this, my dad just dug in the back of his mouth to pull something out. I don't fucking know.
please.
Dad, do you think
I can't even look at him.
does Donald Trump have to obey the Supreme Court? Dad,
No,
Oh,
why?
God.
because he's the law.
Oh, we've been over this.
Okay.
There's the answer. Move on.
No, all right,
Is
Mom,
it-
I'm going to ask you. Do you think Donald Trump has to obey the Supreme Court?
I think he should, yes.
Okay, so you're against what he's doing here?
No, I think these guys should be gone out of here. But there's
But-
no way that we can give each and every one of these guys a trial. They'll never be gone. They'll never be gone.
What are you
It
talking
would
about a
take
trial?
years and years and years and years.
That's how we've done it up until this point.
If you are not a citizen, you need to leave. They are
But if
giving
you-
them 100. I think it's not 100,000. They're giving them $1,000. Turn yourself in. Get out of here. We'll give you $1,000. Come back the right way.
But what is that? None of that is at issue here. The Supreme Court has said you cannot do what you're doing. These people need to have the ability of due process so that if they get detained and they believe it's unlawful, they can challenge that in a court. And the Trump administration is saying, fuck you, we're sending them. They don't care. The Trump administration is openly defying the Supreme Court.
Not if they're not a citizen, they need to go.
But last week you said everybody should have habeas corpus.
I know, but if you're not a citizen, you need to go.
So you're going back on that. You're
I'm
flip-flopping
seeing
that.
it. I'm seeing a little bit of it here
Little bit of what?
in the area that we live. If you do not have papers, if you are not a citizen, you better leave now, or they will take you.
Okay, and you think that's okay? Again, the Supreme Court here. Let me ask you this, Dad. You said Trump doesn't have to obey the Supreme Court. Why do you think we have a Supreme Court?
There's no reason to.
You want to do away with it entirely.
Yes.
But wait a minute. You're a huge Constitution guy. You know that the Supreme Court...
Yeah, and the Supreme Court doesn't follow the Constitution. So it should be eliminated.
How are they not following it?
They don't.
How? In what way? Give me an example of them
This
not
shit
following
we're
it.
talking about right now. It's against the Constitution.
What is?
Them blocking Trump from putting the handcuffs on these people.
Now I'm going to say this. You're not going to like it, but you are wrong.
Oh, I'm
The
always wrong.
Constitution sets up a
Mhm.
system of 3 separate but equal branches of government.
About
The
this.
executive, which is the president,
Mhm.
the legislative, which is
Oh
the
my
Congress. We can
I
get rid of them.
understand all that. You don't need to keep going over
And the
it.
judicial. Okay.
Yeah. The judicial is corrupt and needs to be eliminated.
So you're saying do away with the Constitution.
No, do away with the Supreme Court.
That's in the Constitution.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. How are you saying that?
Judicial system is in this Constitution. Doesn't
Yeah?
say it has to be the Supreme Court.
So what court do you think should be presiding over this issue?
Whatever one we set up after we get rid of them.
He's going to say Trump. Trump.
I mean, I know you don't want to admit this, but you are not supporting the Constitution.
Oh, God. Okay, fine. You're right, communist.
So when you call me a communist,
Stop
it
it.
might actually be you who's the communist.
I doubt that.
Okay, move on.
Of the 3 of us here, you're the only person who wants to destroy the Constitution.
No. That's not what I want to do.
Okay. You just want to destroy it.
That's you putting words in my mouth again.
You just said you want to get rid of the Supreme Court.
That's right.
They
one
are
that
the head
exists-
of one of the 3
The one
branches of
that
government.
exists today has to go.
Okay, the one that, by the way, was created by Trump.
No, it wasn't created by Trump.
He has more members of that Supreme Court appointed than any other president.
Yeah, but he's still got Roberts in his way.
Okay, move on.
It was 7-2, dude,
Yeah.
this vote. So it's not just Roberts.
Yeah.
What's happening over there?
Nothing. Waiting for the next question.
All right. Well, we've gotten heated up. My dad has called me a communist. It's time now to simmer down, even though he is the communist.
Okay.
This is my simmer down question. What is something, let's start with Dad. Maybe this will lighten your mood. What is something that you've always wanted to try, but you have never gotten a chance to?
Can't think of a thing.
Cool. Mom, how about you?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm still trying everything. You have to try something new every day. Maybe do some more things with my horse, more world shows, do a freestyle with my horse.
But you've done these things. I'm
I've
talking
never
about
done a
something completely
freestyle
new.
with him. I would like to
But
do
you've
that.
ridden the horse. I'm talking about like, is
Yeah.
there a place you want to visit?
We still might make Alaska. I've always wanted to do Alaska.
Uh-huh.
As soon as
Why haven't you done it yet?
physically he can't right now. As soon as he gets
Yeah.
stronger, we will.
All right. And Dad, you're good. You've done everything that you want to do in this life?
Yeah.
All right, cool. For me,
What about you, Chad?
the answer is probably,
Outer
I think
space?
it's probably, I mean, of course, I would love to, but that is a little prohibitive financially. I would like to skydive, but I don't know if I'm ever going to do it now. I feel like the older I get, the further away from the possibility of that I
Because you're
get.
too scared?
Yeah, and like, ACO replacement, all this shit. There's some like physical things that I'm like, I could see myself skydiving and tearing my ACL again or something like that, and just like, it's not worth it, I don't think. But
Yeah.
that's something I regret not doing when I was younger. But sure, going into space or anything like that would be cool as hell. I would like to see.
I can think of one thing too.
Yeah.
I should have been, because I love animals, I should have been a veterinarian. Probably small animal vet.
So that's one thing you'd like to try is being a veterinarian?
Yeah. And if I would
Okay.
start now, then like 4 years later, maybe, then I'd be 74, 75. Yes, this is my first year as a veterinarian. I'm 75 years old. I have a lot of experience. This is my
Yeah.
first year.
Hey, it's never too late. Never too late to
Yes,
start.
it is.
Dad,
It's too late.
would you support Mom's veterinary practice?
Sure.
He tried to tell me about 6 years ago to do it. I said I'm too old then. Now I'm really
Yeah.
too old. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. I also wouldn't mind going to like Tokyo, probably. I think that'd be pretty fun.
Go where?
Tokyo, Japan.
Oh, Dad's been there. Tell him about
Do you
it.
like it?
No, it's a shithole.
Okay. All right, let's move on to our next topic. Jesus Christ.
This is not good.
Our next topic is The American. This week, reports emerged about a proposed reality TV show titled The American, in which immigrants would compete in challenges across the United States for a chance at expedited citizenship. The concept was pitched by Canadian-born producer Rob Warsoff, known for his work on reality shows like Duck Dynasty and The Biggest Loser. According to the proposal, 12 pre-vetted immigrant contestants would arrive at Ellis Island aboard the citizenship and then travel across the country on a train named The American. In each state, they'd participate in region-specific challenges like gold mining in California or assembling a Ford Model T in Detroit. And the winner would be sworn in as a U.S. citizen on Capitol Hill. Eliminated contestants would receive consolation prizes like airline miles and gift cards. Initial reports suggested that the Department of Homeland Security Chief Kristi Noem supported the project. Dad, should people be able to win American citizenship on a reality show?
No,
Why not?
it doesn't do any good. You're not proving anything.
What? Who's
Just
not
because
proving
you win a reality TV show doesn't prove anything.
Right. You have to be the host of one like Trump.
No, Trump's a citizen.
Okay. Mom, do you think people should be able to win American citizenship on a reality show?
Probably not, but it would be good entertainment. Some of those things you were saying I would like to do myself.
Yeah. Would you watch this show?
Yeah, I think I would.
Dad,
Entertainment.
would you?
No,
You would boycott.
He would watch it.
Okay. Do you think Trump would appear on this show, even maybe host it?
No, he is president now. Stop it. No.
But he makes memes and stuff. He still is out there in the public eye,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
I think he would. Here's, if I may, I do another podcast called Game of Roses where we talk about reality TV. I break it down like a sport. These are my thoughts on this idea of a reality show. I actually don't inherently think the idea is bad. I know people are outraged by it and it trivializes the immigration process, blah, blah, blah. This is how I would make this show. The host of the show has to be an immigrant who has achieved
Mm,
American citizenship. I
okay.
think that helps a lot. The people
Hmm.
on the show, I think at the end, the twist is not only do they all get American citizenship, they all get $1 million to start their
Oh,
lives in America. I think
that
if
would
you
be
did
good.
something like that, it may not be terrible, but to have them competing in what people would perceive as a Hunger Games esque kind of game of attrition to get
Uh-huh.
citizenship, I think is not going to fly. I don't think that's going to go over very well.
You should try to get a job on that.
No, thank you.
I bet they would hire you.
Set it up. Let me know where I got to be and when I got to be there. Let's
Okay.
move on. The downgrade. This week, Moody's Investor Service downgraded the United States credit rating from AAA to AA1, marking the first time since 1917 that the United States no longer holds a perfect credit score from all major rating agencies. This move follows earlier downgrades by Standard & Poor's in 2011 and Fitch Ratings in 2023, making Moody's the last of the big three to lower the U.S. rating. Moody's cited poor financial policy, stock volatility, and rising price of goods, among other factors, as their primary reasons for the downgrade. In response, the Trump administration criticized the decision, with officials arguing that the assessment was politically motivated and failed to account for the administration's efforts to address fiscal issues. Dad, what do you think when other countries see our credit get downgraded? What do you think they think?
It doesn't matter what they think.
But what do you think other countries, what do you think their reaction is when they see this?
Well, what they're looking at now is they know China's about to go tits up, and they own most of our bonds. So they're going to sell bonds, which are going to make interest rates go up and inflation go up.
And you think that's good?
Yeah,
You want
because it's
inflation to
only going to
increase.
it's only going to last a very short period of time.
Okay. Mom, what do you think other countries think when they see this happening?
I have no idea. I really don't.
The dollar is kind of like, at least for many decades, the most stable form of currency in the world. It's the form of currency against which all other currencies are measured. It's how basically
Yes.
economics are done globally,
Yes.
right? So when America's credit rating gets downgraded, I
Hmm.
think people start to question, well, what about the dollar? If
Hmm.
our entire global economy is in one way or another linked to or based on the value of that dollar, and America's credit rating is getting downgraded, you don't
Hmm.
think that scares other countries?
No.
No.
Who's it
Okay.
scaring?
And who made this all up
You pick a
anyway?
country that it's scaring, and I'll tell you why it's not.
Who made this up? Who said that
Hang
this?
on. I'm getting two different questions here. Who made what up, Mom?
Who made this up? Who said
Why'd
this
you
is
go to mom?
happening?
You can't name me a fucking country.
Canada, Mexico, China,
Canada and
Russia.
Mexico. Those aren't countries.
What?
They're states.
Canada and
Uh,
Mexico.
huh? What do you they're not countries. What do you
No,
mean?
they're not countries.
He thinks Canada is a state under United States.
They're already done.
But you know that's
Mexico
not
will be
true.
next.
You know that's not true.
Well, I do not know that's true.
Right
It's
now, you
true.
think Canada is a state?
It's going to be within the next 2 years. I've already told you that.
Okay.
It already is. It already is. They're just too fucking stupid to know it.
Okay.
Who's they?
Canadians.
Every person in that country?
It's fucking stupid
And why
Oh
do you
my
think
God.
that?
Please.
because of the way they run their country. They've lived off the U.S. $200 billion a year for the last 50 years. They haven't paid their own way once.
Right.
They're deadbeat cockroaches.
Oh my God. Really, Bob?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think, Dad, that the American economy is stronger now than it was under Biden?
Oh, hell yes.
But during Biden's presidency, our credit rating was not downgraded
That doesn't matter.
by Moody's
You're
anymore.
talking about believing Moody's and people like that. Bullshit. Those goddamn guys couldn't rate my ass.
Okay. Mom, do you feel that the American economy is stronger now or under Biden?
100%. Trump just brought in how many trillion of deals and developments for our country?
Mhm.
Trillions, Chad?
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on to topic number 6. Trump versus Taylor Swift and Bruce Springsteen. This week, Trump issued a series of derogatory posts targeting Taylor Swift and Bruce Springsteen. On May 16th, Trump went after Swift, writing, quote, "Has anyone noticed that since I said I hate Taylor Swift, she's no longer hot?" In the same series of posts, Trump lashed out at Springsteen, who had recently criticized Trump's administration during a concert in Manchester, England, calling it corrupt, incompetent, and treasonous. And now I want to read the entire Springsteen post. This is the President of the United States
Listen to this.
going
Oh,
on.
you're reading Trump's, or you're reading
Yeah,
what
Trump's.
Springsteen said?
I'm reading Trump's.
Do
This
you
is
have what
Trump said.
Springsteen said too?
I just told you. He
Okay,
called
go.
his administration incompetent, treasonous, and corrupt. Now,
Okay.
in response to this is what Donald Trump does. This is the President of the United States. A musician says you're corrupt, you're treasonous. This is what Trump says. "I see that highly overrated Bruce Springsteen goes to a foreign country to speak badly about the President of the United States. Never liked him, never liked his music or his radical left politics, and importantly, he's not a talented guy. Just a pushy, obnoxious jerk who fervently supported crooked Joe Biden, a mentally incompetent fool, our worst ever president, who came close to destroying our country. If I wasn't elected, it would have been gone by now. Sleepy Joe didn't have a clue as to what he was doing, but Springsteen is dumb as a rock and couldn't see what was going on. Or could he, which is even worse? This dried out prune of a rocker, his skin is all atrophied, ought to keep his mouth shut until he gets back into the country. That's just standard fare. Then we'll see how it all goes for him." So this is a maniac's post that he's just firing off because Bruce Springsteen said you're corrupt.
Bruce Springsteen's a fucking piece of shit.
He said terrible things.
Okay.
You know what? He shouldn't live in the United States.
He ought to get his ass out of here.
Take his daughter
Why?
who jumps and rides horses. Get
Hang
out
on.
of here.
Hang on. You think he
doesn't
shouldn't be
either.
allowed to live in the United States because he expressed
He's a
dissent?
fucking communist.
Because he doesn't love our country and talks bad about it all the time.
And why does he
talks
have
bad
to
about
run
Donald
over to
Trump.
the UK to talk like that?
Hang on. Dad, Mom, how many times have you spoken badly of Barack Obama, Joe Biden? Does that mean you have to leave the country?
They're
No.
not running the country, are they?
They're communists.
They were when you guys were shit talking them constantly.
Yeah, and they're communists.
So you don't see that there's like a double standard here. You say Bruce Springsteen
no
says
double
something bad about
standard at
Trump.
all. None.
Okay, hang on. Bruce
Zero.
Springsteen says something bad about Donald Trump. You say he should leave the country forever.
Yes.
If he
But
doesn't
when you
like
say
our
something,
country-
He's been bad
Hang
mouthing
on.
the United States for
hang
decades.
on. But
Okay.
when you say something bad about
Yeah.
Obama or Biden when they're in office,
That's right.
you're just being good Americans, right?
That's exactly right.
because we do love our country.
You're finally catching on.
We do love our country.
Yeah.
We want to stay in our country and we want it better.
If you weren't a communist, you'd have got it sooner.
Please don't call him a communist.
Well, that's what he is.
Don't.
It's not, though. I'm not a communist. I don't even understand how you draw that conclusion.
I don't either.
Give me some examples of things that I do that you believe are communist.
And don't yell. Tell him.
What you're doing right now.
What?
A podcast is communist?
No. How you swing everything that way.
What way? At the beginning of this episode, I agreed with Donald Trump.
You're trying to make this into a communist podcast.
How?
Every damn thing comes out of your mouth.
But you're also on this podcast. And so you are pro-Trump. How can I make it a communist podcast if you're on it?
Because you lean it the way you want it to go.
But
That's
I'm
why
not
he
leaning
calls-
anything the way.
That's
Huh?
why he calls you a communist, because he thinks you lean this podcast your way and not ours.
Once again, I
Uh-huh.
will.
All right. I'm tired of going back and forth on that issue.
No, that's not.
Let's
We're
just call
talking
it,
about this.
Call it a done deal.
No. The beginning of this podcast, I
Yeah.
read a tweet by Donald Trump and I
Yes.
said I agree with it 100%.
Yes.
So how is that not supporting your view?
It was. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, we ain't arguing no more.
You're going to knock off the microphone and then Chad's going to yell.
I'm going to yell. I'm going to yell. All right. Mom, do you think a president should be attacking musicians?
Should be attacking what?
Musicians.
Springsteen.
I mean, it's his opinion, I guess. I think it is a little crazy. He does it like out in the open and, and saying those tweets on X, but his opinion.
Yeah. Dad, do you think he should be attacking musicians?
Yeah, especially this one.
Okay.
Dad doesn't like him either.
Springsteen's a total pile of shit.
Oh my God.
Why do you say that?
Because he's a total pile of shit.
Why though? What gives you that conclusion?
His entire life.
He's
a total
made
pile of
music
shit.
that millions and millions of people love.
Millions and millions of people can have him.
I always thought that song Born in the USA was patriotic. It's not, is it? I don't think it is.
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't
It can
think
be
is.
if you think it is.
I thought it was. I don't think it is. I think he hates America.
I think he does too.
He's an American hater. We don't like people who hate America.
Do you think that anybody can love America and disagree with Donald Trump?
No.
Mom?
I know because he's our president.
But you guys disagreed with Barack Obama and Joe Biden when they were presidents.
But they're different.
And you still loved
individuals.
America, right?
They're-
That's
Hang on.
right. That's
different.
exactly right. They are communists. We are Americans. Therefore, we disagree with everything they did and said
They didn't
Okay.
like America.
because they're communists.
Right. Now, can you at all, do you have the ability to put yourself
I have the
in
ability to do whatever I want to do.
Okay.
Okay.
Because
Do you
I
have this
live
ability?
here.
Do you have this ability? Can you put
I don't
yourself
have the ability to shut your little pie hole, and that's the first sign that communism's coming.
Can you
God.
put yourself in the position of another person who sees the world differently than you
No,
and you don't want to?
and I don't want to.
Because why is that? You fear it,
Because
I guess?
my vision of the world is the best vision for this world.
Okay.
Right. But
Your
even if that's
vision
true,
for this world
great.
is total shit.
That's fine. I'll say it's true. Your vision for the world is the best vision for the world. But you acknowledge there are other visions for the world, right?
Yeah, and they're wrong, and they got to be snuffed out.
Okay. Now,
Now that's it.
do you want to understand those other visions? Even if
No,
they're wrong,
give
don't
a
you want to
rat's
understand
fucking
them?
ass.
What's that?
I know. I don't want to understand them. I want them to be wiped out.
And you're talking about genocide.
Whatever it takes.
Okay. Let me ask you this about these tweets. Mom, does it at all make you think Donald Trump has thin skin? That a musician can say something in a concert, he gets so mad that he fires off a crazy tweet at whatever hour it was.
That wasn't crazy.
I don't.
He
Fucking
called
100
him. Let me
100%.
read this again. You don't think this is crazy?
Yeah.
This
No.
dried out prune of a rocker, his skin
That's
is
right.
all atrophied. Ought to keep his mouth shut.
100% of everything he said about Springsteen is true.
Do you think Donald Trump is a dried out old prune?
No.
Do you think he has good skin?
No.
He doesn't. You're right. So he's insulting Bruce Springsteen for something he himself suffers from.
No. I said
But-
no the first
But
thing.
he
Dad,
did,
let me ask
he
you
did
this. Do you-
insult him. He probably
You
insulted.
throw in too many questions too fast.
He insulted Taylor Swift. But they. Oh my God. So
Okay. Sorry, Mom, go ahead.
he insulted both of them,
Yeah.
Bruce, and he insulted Taylor Swift several times. But they insult him too. So
Yeah. Where's Dad going?
where do you think? He's
Take a
not
shit?
left.
I
He's
mean, we get in
he's
this
going
right
to the
now.
bathroom.
All right. Mom, do you think Donald Trump is handsome?
No, not really.
You think he's
No.
ugly?
No, he's just a person. I don't look at him like that.
No, but he looks at everybody like that.
Well, who
You
does?
got to stop touching that mic.
I'm afraid he's going to fall. Who looks at him that way?
No, he
His-
looks
his
at other
wife
people's
should.
physical appearance and insults physical appearances constantly.
Who does?
Donald Trump, he just called Bruce Springsteen a shriveled old prune and said he had bad skin.
Okay. So that's his opinion of him, I guess.
All right. That wraps up the show. We got nothing else.
It's been a doozy.
It has indeed. I don't understand what Dad is doing. I mean, I know he's taking his shit right now, but I don't understand his he's kind of devolved into this attitude of just being like, you're stupid. I ain't saying anything else. And it's like, if he doesn't want to do this anymore, he does not have to.
I know. That's about where we're at, I'm afraid.
What?
If you don't want to do this podcast anymore, because all you do is argue and yell at everybody.
No, it's not. He doesn't even argue.
Better,
I don't care
don't
about
argue and yell.
I have to
No.
I have to hold the microphone
That's
for a
fine.
minute.
I
Okay.
don't care if you argue and yell. Arguing and yelling is fine. That's what this is about to some degree. It's
Well, then
it's
what
about
are
us.
you yipping about?
I'm yipping about you're not arguing. You just now have gotten to this point where we're talking about something, and if you can't issue a point that you think is valid, you just kind of declare the
no, all my
conversation
points
over
I
and fuck
think are
you.
valid.
What?
100% of my points are valid.
But
Okay.
so are Chad's, and so are mine, and so are Haley's.
Oh,
And you don't let us say anything and talk anymore.
bullshit. That's all you do.
Don't. You end the conversation. You're
My
about to do it
God,
right
y'all
now.
wanna see it my way.
You're about to do it right now. I saw you take a little deep breath and roll your eyes back in your little head. The thing we're trying to do here is have conversations about these different topics.
Okay, fine. Let's wrap this up.
I really
I
want
rest my case, Your Honor.
really, I want to do a podcast where it's not politics and see if he does it better. See
Okay.
if he does the podcast
Produce it.
better. Do you
What do
think
you
it's
wanna do?
just? Do you think it's just politics? Would you
Do
do
I?
this if Chad said, "Let's talk about something other than politics"?
Probably.
Probably what?
I'd do it better.
He'd do it better. He said.
Well, Dad, what do you want to talk about? What are some things you'd like to talk about that are not political?
There ain't anything I want to talk about. Y'all figure it out. Just make it something not of politics.
Maybe we can figure that
But I'm
out.
asking you. I'm
Next
interested in
I'm
what
out of
would,
breath.
but what
Jeez.
would be something that you want to talk about that you have an interest in?
I don't have. That's Mom's deal where she wants to do something other than politics. So figure out what it is, and I'll be in.
But I'm asking you on a personal
I
level.
don't have anything. I've told you that.
You have no interests in life?
I want to go see my horse.
Okay. Maybe that's what we'll talk about next week, is seeing of the horses. That is the end of this program. Thank you very much for joining us. Haley, wherever you are, I love you. I hope safe travels are in your future. Mom, I love you. Dad, despite the fact that I don't think you believe I'm a communist, but you call me that almost every episode. I do love you.
I love everybody.
I love you, Chad. I love you, Haley. I love you, Bob.
All
And I
right.
can't
Well,
believe your sister is off wasting money
Cut
in
him.
Boston.
Cut him.
what do you mean wasting money?
Who you think's paying for that whole trip?
Her. What do you mean?
Don't. It's all right. Not.
No, what do you
On
mean wasting
podcast.
money? What? Hang on a minute. What's the
No.
waste?
Not on the podcast.
Okay. Tell him that.
Later.
All right. See you next week.
Bye.